This started like any other ride, heading over to Daytona Bike Week and having a good time. On the way back, something failed on Alan's bike that could have seriously injured or even killed him, sending him into a guardrail at over 70 miles an hour. And the reason why it happened is something most riders would never even think about. Alan and I are on our way to Daytona. We just gassed up. The pump didn't stop whenever I was filling up this one. It just went Niagara Falls of gasoline onto the coil. So I'm gonna push this thing away from the pump and then start it, and hopefully I don't die. Also, this one button keeps coming undone, and I want to say it's because of the button, but it's not. It's because of my belly. Get it together, John. Okay. Ready? Okay, we're safe. Thank God. Going after this guy, and we're in.
Oh yeah, off to Daytona we go. 30 minutes. Be right there, eh? Damn, he was drinking a Nos. How retro. Come on over, bud. You lost your homie. All right, welcome to Bike Week.
So at this point, I wasn't recording video anymore, but Alan and I were still connected on comms, and all I heard was,
"Oh shit. We have to pull over. We have to pull over."
Alan just got very lucky.
I think my pants are clean. Not sure about that. I may have to check. Going through a pretty hard corner back here in Mexico. And the sprocket bolts backed out while the bike was leaned over.
Couldn't hear that from traffic. Sprocket bolts started backing out and hit his swing arm. This is what that looks like. Hey, there's our ride.
Hey, our rescue. At least I'm not walking from here. What, we're about a good 45 minutes out?
This episode is taking a turn. It was supposed to be just like going to, take a trip to Daytona and Alan's first time at Bike Week. We have a theory of what went wrong, which we'll talk about once we get this thing on the lift.
Man, I'm impressed with people. We've already had 2 people stop.
Yeah, we've had 2 people stop. People have been motioning for us, like asking if we're okay. Fellow bikers, man. Shit's awesome.
Sounds good.
Oh my God. Thanks for coming to save us.
Of course.
Hello, wife.
Hi.
Hi, baby. Hi, my sweets.
Oh, God. I was about to be yelling, push me, push me.
Push me, no, grab me, my body.
No. Push me, Alan. No, push me. On me. No, not you, Greg. Alan, push me. No, my body.
We might be the next one to get a van like this. Just saying.
Shit is useful. I don't know why I didn't buy one sooner.
I'm just glad you guys are okay.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for the rescue.
Are you riding bitch with him now?
No, get in the van.
That's the rules.
Hey, man, sometimes shit just doesn't go to plan, We are in the garage, and what the hell happened?
About a year and a half ago, I had some bolts back out, caused some damage to swing arm and pulley. Thought it was just, I rushed, I didn't lock tight. I had 2 bikes being put together. I was medically diagnosed with diabetes at the same time, and I kept saying my mind felt like Swiss cheese. So I kind of wrote it off as assembly error. Moved on, put it all back together, got swing arm, got a pulley, still had threads in the wheel, everything torqued down. Didn't think twice about it. Coming back from Daytona, it all happened again. And as more time passes, the more I'm processing how close shit actually got. A lot of people keep telling me I'm lucky to be standing here. I don't know if it was luck, dumb luck, guardian angel, whatever you want to go with. A lot of people said I should have hated that day.
Whenever we were taking the bike out of the van, the rear pulley was backed out to where it was actually locking. Had that happen while he was riding it and it locked up, you would have gone straight into like guardrail at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, because that was one of those turns we love to hit. It's a long sweeper. Honestly, one of my favorite turns still, even we hit the next day on a different bike.
It's banked, nice, smooth, new pavement. It's a great turn.
And that locked up, like all we did was push it 20 feet up into the van. When it got in the van, it fully locked up. Back up, I guess, a little bit in the story. I got this bike right when it was first released because I rode the giveaway bike. Wanted a Lowrider ST. The thing I hated from day one, I didn't like the bronze. Fully intended on powder coating the wheels. Pulled them off, sent them to a powder coater I'd used multiple times prior. Had done my Street Glide, had done stuff on Justice Street Bob, Sportster. Always had good luck. He told me it was very difficult to remove that factory bronze, and they left the wheel sit in acid for a few days. Pulled up the pictures that he had sent me from back then as we're trying to figure out what happened. And basically, it weakened the aluminum. It started destroying the properties of the aluminum. I would have had soft threads. Threads would have been rolled. My front wheel, when I went to torque it down on the assembly, I actually pulled one of the threads and stuck a helicoil in it. Didn't think anything of it. A lot of things now all make sense. You know, that 2020 vision after. We get it all tore apart. And here's the carnage. This is gone.
I've never seen this before.
This is literally gone. Factory wheel. Just understand, like, there's supposed to be material in all this.
There's supposed to be a lot of material.
Yeah, there's
like
no
there's a whole wall that's supposed to be like right here on each one of these, entirely gone, missing. Well, it's not. I mean, I guess it's over there, and then it's on the ground in powder form.
Oh yeah, there's aluminum everywhere.
Pulley's over here, and as you accelerate, it's just pulling on it. And so after a while, since it was softened, essentially, right?
Case hardening, like you would see in certain industries, will take and make a surface layer of aluminum harder. This basically did the opposite. It softened it. Here's the pulley. Bolt holes are egged. Actually surprised the pulley doesn't look worse. The pulley was solid black. That's all swing arm damage. Those are from the sledgehammer we had to take to beat it out of the swing arm to get it to roll again. Also had to cut the belt. And here are all the ARP bolts.
Just straight mushroom. That one's missing a head entirely.
Yeah, we think that's the one that caused this damage.
This was loose, but the axle was still through it, and so it was still attached to the hub. Granted, it was doing this. Where the hell that came from, we were just kind of wondering. All of the heads are still there. They're just mushroomed out, except the one. So we think what happened is that head came off, and it hit right here.
To think about this happening going down the road just straight is one thing. I was leaned over in a turn doing 70. Just to give a point of reference, like those threads you can kind of see here are full depth. You're missing 1/2 inch plus of material there. I know I coated all these exceptionally well with Loctite the last time I put it together. They're still coated in threads.
That means the bolts were totally fine. The hub gave out.
The engineer side of me wanted to know, like as you heat material, it'll change colors. The purple that you're seeing in some of these means the head of that bolt was 500 degrees.
Jesus Christ. Rubbing up against this.
And that is now kind of friction stirred welded, because that is a casting that now also has ARP stainless embedded in it. 'Cause you can see, like, there's part of a bolt head.
The ring, I've never seen this separate. This was from the backside of the pulley, so that basically goes like that. But that came off whenever we were hitting it with the sledge in order to try to get it to set back upright and move. It was locked up whenever we were trying to get it out of the van. All of this from powder coating and the powder coater letting it set in a bath of acid.
It was at least a day it sat in acid, if not 2.
The acid softened the metal, which led to no more bolt hole for clamp load. I've never, ever seen anything like that. If you guys have, post down in the comments below, but that is gnarly.
I don't know where my belt is at the moment, but there was aluminum embedded on the inside of the belt.
Just obviously thankful that it wasn't worse mid-ride.
Shout out to Florida people, because the amount of people that stopped to make sure we were okay on the highway as we waited for the van, highly impressive. I was blown away by the generosity.
That was super cool.
Older guy pulled up, and what do you say, been riding for 40 years or something? Walks back, looks at the bike and goes, holy shit, how'd you ride away from that? And it's been the kind of general consensus with everybody, like, how? I mean,
Dude, Guardian Angel, bro.
yeah.
Seriously.
This could have went bad.
Dude,
bad.
real bad, real bad. You guys have ever ridden a bike and slammed rear brakes to lock up the rear wheel? You have no control over it anymore, right? It's like you're kind of sliding in the direction that you're going. So had it locked up in the middle of a turn, it would have sent him straight into guardrail. Dude, 70 miles an hour. I mean, because we were cooking around that corner. We weren't going slow. And so, yeah, Guardian Angel. Melted bolts, friction welded swing arm, hub toast, egged freaking bolt holes on the pulley. It's heavy.
It is heavy. You know, you hear about situations of, you know, doing dumb stuff, cars or anything. You never think of, like, I need to be mindful of how, like, my wheels are coated. You think this is what that person does, and you
trust
yeah.
the professional.
To think, like, I mean, as my dad said when I texted him about this, is like, he tried to kill you. I don't think he intentionally tried to kill me. He was a good guy when he was around and everything, but, like, his actions seriously could have punched my ticket. And, like, to ride bikes, we all kind of accept, like, the dangers of cars. If we're dumb, we can pay the price, all these things, but you don't think about using a vendor and what decisions they make can come back to get you.
Yeah, you don't think that powder coating your wheels is going to cause catastrophic failure point or a wreck, or
yeah,
it's just powder coat.
Yeah,
right?
Just powder coat.
But the process that he went to remove the OEM powder coat is where it weakened the metal, which has caused the damage that you see now.
Suggest to everyone, I will be now, ask your powder coater how they plan on stripping your parts. That person had blasted plenty of things for me. Never had a problem with anything. He was trying, and it wasn't eating through the bronze on these wheels. Yet again, I don't know what Harley is using for that bronze, but
sticky.
Yeah, it's definitely tough.
This is a whole lesson in safety and hindsight, and which leads to that.
You know the whole theory of, well, it's broke, might as well.
Scope creep. What the fix is, we've got a bunch of boxes sitting around us.
God,
a lot of them have Allen's parts in them. So we got to get this thing fixed and get your bike up and running again.
After knowing what happened to that wheel, I don't trust the front wheel anymore. So we started looking for takeoffs. Surprisingly, they're very hard to find for these bikes. It's within a couple $100 of going with aftermarket wheels. I haven't even opened these.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
The crazy part of all this wasn't even from riding the bike hard. It wasn't from pushing the bike. It wasn't even a failure from the bike itself. All of this came from powder coating. Something most of us wouldn't think twice about. And I think that's the part that really got me, was you trust the process. You trust the people doing the work. You don't expect something like that to come back and almost put you into a guardrail at 70 miles an hour. Looking at this after the fact, Allen got really lucky. If there's anything to take away from this, it's to ask questions, understand the process, and don't assume something is safe just because it's common. Something as simple as powder coating should not end like this. Something that simple shouldn't almost
Punch my ticket.
Now, understanding what happened was one thing, fixing it, that's another. And that's what happens in the next episode. We get to work, bringing Alan's bike back to life. If you want to see when that episode drops, make sure you're subscribed with that bell notification on, drop a comment, and let us know what you guys think about this whole situation. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like. Until next time, ride safe, stay vigilant. We'll catch y'all on the next one.